Alright, so here's a little demonstration of the FlyAudio Mazda 3 OEM replacement unit. Hope this helps in making your decision looking between units. Alright, so we're starting off here in MP3 mode. I like this mode the best. This runs off of the card, which is in the top right here. I'll turn on the parking lights. So you can see here there's a blank spot. That's where a small micro SD card goes in. It's actually running HD SD card, so it's basically at 4 gigs right now. I'm sure it can throw in more, but I don't really need that much in there because it's got iPod connectivity as well. That's what it looks like with the parking lights on. You can see that it's actually pretty close to the stock lights below. So it actually looks pretty sharp. I get a lot of comments that it looks pretty much the same as stock. Anyway, I like this here because it looks the best. It's very easy to use. If I want to fast forward in a song, I can go back and forth as I please, back and forth between songs. If I want to go to my playlist, I can go through and look at my songs again ahead of time. If I go back up to the top, I can go and browse through my folders. You can see here a list of different things that I've got. And basically this is only for MP3, so back to the spot here. You've got shuffle, repeat. If you want to adjust your specific audio, your balance, front, left, right, rear. If you want to choose between your different, basically your different treble and mid and bass settings. I don't usually fool around with those because it's got a great setting here, surround. It says surround, it really just means different settings for how that previous audio, the treble and bass is set up. Jazz, I think, usually sounds pretty equal. Rock delivers a good kick of bass. But that's all to your own taste, I guess. But let's go over to some other features here. You hit menu and you're given this brilliant menu. You can turn it off, which I like when I'm driving at night. A lot don't have that feature. I think it's really handy. And there's also a button to adjust the brightness just up here. So we got dark, soft, and bright. I'll throw it on bright because I think it'll show a little better for everyone. You have your DVD settings. Okay. You can have it on a USB mode, which I've routed into the glove box. Okay, as well as the iPod. You basically have video if you want. It plays AVI. Can't go wrong with Kylie. She's still pretty hot. Anyway, if you touch the screen, it gives you some options in terms of subtitle, again, audio, main menu. It's great for scrolling through DVDs, or in this case, I just want to go back. Now I can change left and right between. I can also use this knob here on the right hand side to scroll through songs. I'm kind of going through videos right now. So anyway, it's pretty clear. The screen is great quality. I particularly love it, to be honest. Let's see here. If I'm going back through, I go through a folder look. It doesn't give you a whole readout, just the kind of like the old school couple letters readout, but it gives you an idea. You can scroll through. Again, similar to the last interface on MP3, you can go through and scroll through your folders. So it plays MP3s and videos and just AVIs. I haven't tried any others. I know it doesn't play MP4 from the looks of it. Anyway, so that's that mode. Again, at the same place you've got your DVD mode, which is the same thing. Either it'll play a DVD or right now I've got a CD in here. The nice part is when you move to a CD, it's got your track list here. And the track list I'll just show you on the left. Takes a second to load there. If we go into the track list, I've got my entire track list here, which is kind of neat if I just want to jump to a song without having to scroll through. So, got that idea there, right? So, anyway, we'll go back here, and again go back through. If you have a disc changer hooked up, CDC. Radio is pretty cool. Let's see here. You can see here it's already reading the type of station here. Some stations will actually have a band reading across here, either a website or again the song playing, which is pretty neat on that blue line. I'm not sure what TA and AF stand for yet. I've left them off for now. They don't seem to make any difference to sound. And you've got quite a bit of settings. So those are pretty cool. iPod connectivity. I don't own an iPod. I've used friends' iPods on this. It's actually really easy to use. So we'll go through that. And so off we go with the second part here. We just came from iPod. We're now looking at, I'll take you into the GPS. So we've got two ways of doing it. You can either hit GPS or you can hit the navigation button. We'll just go through the GPS button right now. The what I've got loaded here is iGo 8. I love the look of it. There's a couple different software that run on it. Essentially whatever runs on Windows CE, which is I think what it's running. But this one's got some great looks to it, and it's got just some really good features. Now I've got it on night mode, but you can see here it's got a real nice ling for setup here. Pretty easy to use. Go back to menu, find your POIs, your routes and stuff like that, manage your routes. Find if I'm looking for something in particular, addresses, favorites, so on and so on, right? So I'll go back here. One thing that I like about this, which is pretty neat, is it's got a cool little kilometer setting, and what's nice is it's actually a dual core unit. I was reading up on it a little bit. It's dual core, so one core is actually running the nav, and the other core is still running your audio. So while this is running, it is running on a separate unit for everything else. Now, the original menu that I started off in, which was the MP3 menu, I want to make note that those MP3s read off the same card the Navi does. So if you're playing the music and running the Navi will start cutting out the music because it's trying to read the data from the disk for the navigation. So I do suggest, if you're needing directions, go with anything but MP3. Use DVD or the USB or your iPod or radio. Or if you prefer, you can go just MP3, keep it in your MP3 setting, and the audio will tell you, turn left, turn right, so on and so on. That's all personal preference, but that's something that I thought everyone should kind of know. Still, it doesn't detriment the unit because you've got two settings, USB and MP3. Something everyone should kind of know about the unit, though. So going back in the GPS, just kind of give you a show here. It's just a really nice, clean unit in terms of being able to use it. It loads very quickly, and it looks really, really nice. And I've got it in 3D now. Anyway, going back to menu takes us right back. I'm going to show you here next the MP3, which is where we started. Very easy to go through. Just kind of want to get some tunes back on for everyone. So, you can see here now that we go over to Navi. Okay, it's not cutting out yet, but give it a second. There it is, it's cut out. So that's what you're going to expect. Just keep a heads up on that, okay? That does not happen in any other mode. If we go over to Bluetooth, you saw earlier in the video it automatically connected. Connected to your phone, tells your phone here, it dials through really nicely. It keeps a record of numbers you've dialed, numbers that have called you. It's pretty easy to pair. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Sounds great. I've routed the mic through the back here and on top of the dash. Okay, that's obviously personal preference as to where you want to put it. It also has a GPS signal receiver, which I've thrown in the corner there. Again, routing it behind the glove box. Okay, so I don't need to make any phone calls. So we'll go back to the menu. And then setup, there's a couple different things you can do here. Different options. If you want to have a parking brake checked, you can only watch videos when you're doing a parking brake. One thing here about this banner, no matter what menu you're in, so if you're in Navi or whatever, it's always going to show this. So if you're in navigation and you change your song, it will show which track you went through. Okay? So if you want the GPS voice on or off, CD changer, headlight checking, so it checks, if your parking lights are on. If you have a rear view camera, turn that setting on. So there's a bunch of settings here. One thing I like here is you can also adjust the brightness of the unit. The lower settings are what keep it close to the actual look of the rest of the interior. Alright, steering wheel controls, pretty simple. All the buttons do work on your steering wheel controls, no matter what, the mute, everything, and they work great. Just go there. Info is basically for your tire pressure sensor monitor. I obviously don't have any loaded up here. One thing that is cool is it does show your voltage, which is pretty cool if you're running a system. Kind of keep an eye on your voltage. Okay, and you can always pair your tire pressure monitor stuff down here. Okay, so that's the basic unit. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is you can change it from orange to blue. You shut it down and it starts up again in the other color. So a great thing there. If you at any time want to go back to your audio video, you just hit the AV button. And I'll show you here how quick this changes between songs using the right side. Okay, and then in the left side is volume as well as mute. A quick touch is mute. Okay, and then a quick on touch is unmute. Holding it down will basically take you and turn it off. Okay, if I put it on mute, it actually does keep the fan running in the back and then turn it off. So now it's completely muted. So to keep in mind that the fan in the back, the cooling unit, does turn off when you're on mute. So I guess you kind of want your stuff to be cooled, so try not to reduce the volume too much there. You can always go back up to setup very quickly here by pressing the setup button. I'll go back to my audio video. If I hold that one in, it brings us over to the info. So very cool unit. There's actually a bunch of ways to change tune. You've got seek buttons up and down. You can use the knob on the right, or in most settings you've got a left and right key. Overall, a great unit. I have no complaints at all. I think it's wonderful, and I think it's totally worth the money. Seeing other units, trying other units for OEM replacement, this is phenomenal. You definitely won't be disappointed. So I hope I helped in terms of your search for a unit, and take care. Bye-bye.